In the last lesson, we looked at obtaining a vehicle, so buying a vehicle or leasing or buying a new, used vehicle. In this lesson, we're going to talk about operating a vehicle. So once you obtain a vehicle of your own, the expenses really start to mount. You are the principal driver, so your insurance costs go up. And here I've included a graph of insurance costs, average insurance costs, depending on the age of the person who's the principal driver. And you can see when you're 16 and you're the principal driver, your insurance costs are really high. They decrease and decrease and decrease until you're in your 50s. Then they start to go up a little bit when you get older than that. So basically, if you're the principal driver, it's going to cost you a lot in insurance until you're in your mid-20s, and then it starts to go down. So insurance costs vary depending on your age and gender, the type of car, the company, the number of traffic infractions you've had, and there's a lot of other things that impact your insurance costs. You can actually get a quote for car insurance by following the links at this website, and we will be using that in the upcoming car assignment. More details on that later. Now, insurance isn't the only cost you're going to have once you have your own vehicle. There's other things you have to pay for as well. And I've lumped these into two main groups. We're going to talk about fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs are things that basically they cost the same amount every month. Variable costs are changeable. So every month you can pay a different amount. So examples of fixed costs would be your insurance premiums. That's just another way of saying the payment for insurance. Now, insurance premiums, you can pay them every month. You can also pay it once per year. It depends on what you decide to do with your insurance company. But either way you do it, the cost doesn't change over the whole year. It's fixed. Also, your car loan payment. If you borrowed money to pay for a car, you're going to be paying back that loan the same amount every month or every week. Variable costs, on the other hand, have changing amounts from month to month or week to week. Fuel, for example. The fuel costs change almost daily. So even if you're filling up your tank the same number of times each month, your cost is going to change because the price for fuel is never the same. Your oil changes. Well, one month you might need to pay for an oil change. The next month you might not have to pay for it. So this cost changes from month to month. It's variable. Same with repairs or maintenance. These are other costs that you'll have to pay when you own a vehicle. And these are just some examples. You might be able to think of more costs associated with a vehicle, but this is a good list for now. Let's move on to some examples. Bob can purchase car insurance for $3,000 per year. There are two payment options. He can pay the insurance premium in full once a year, or he can make weekly payments of $63. Calculate the difference between the two payment options. Well, if you're paying once per year, that's only $3,000. You pay that once. If you're making weekly payments of $63 each for 52 weeks of the year, you're going to be paying $3,276. So it's actually $276 cheaper to pay it once per year rather than making the smaller weekly payments. So now we're just going to talk about advantages and disadvantages. Really what it boils down to is the paying once per year is the cheaper option and the weekly option is more expensive. But if you're paying once per year, that's a lot of money to pay all at once. You may not have $3,000 to pay at one time. So the weekly payments they're smaller. It's only $63 each week. Well, that might be more convenient for you because it's easier to get a smaller amount of money to pay at one time than it is to have a large amount of money to pay at one time. So there's pros and cons to each option. When you are deciding what kind of payments you want to make for your insurance, you will have to decide what works best for you. Now let's talk about fuel costs. Bob's truck has an 80-liter fuel tank and a fuel efficiency rating of 13.4 liters per 100 kilometers. I'm going to stop right there for a second. You may have worked with fuel efficiency ratings before, but you may not have. What this means is to drive 100 kilometers, it's going to take 13.4 liters of fuel, or gas, or diesel, whatever the truck takes. So this is a rate. It's liters per 100 kilometers. We can use this rate with proportional reasoning to solve problems like this. How far can Bob drive on one tank of fuel? So I can start by setting up my proportion. I know it's 13.4 liters per 100 kilometers. And I can set this equal to a ratio with the same units. So liters on the top, kilometers on the bottom. The fuel tank is 80 liters, so I know that. But I don't know how many kilometers he can drive with that. So now I can just do my cross multiplying and dividing. So x equals 80 times 100 divided by 13.4. And when I do that calculation, I get x equals 597. So Bob can drive 597 kilometers on one tank of fuel. Bob drives his truck about 50 kilometers per day. How much does Bob spend on fuel each year if gas can be purchased for 98 cents per liter on average? Well, I'm going to start this problem by figuring out how many kilometers per year that is. So he drives 50 kilometers per day. There's 365 days in a year. So assuming Bob drives every day, that's 18,250 kilometers per year. But the question is, how much does Bob spend on fuel each year? So, well, that's the number of kilometers he drives. We need to know how many liters of fuel he uses. And that's where we're going to use this fuel efficiency again. So it's 13.4 liters per 100 kilometers. I'll set that equal to another ratio. This time, I don't know the liters of fuel, but I do know it's 18,250 kilometers. So x is equal to 18,250 times 13.4 divided by 100. That's that cross multiplying and dividing again. So when I do that in my calculator, I get 2,445.5 liters of fuel per year. But I still haven't answered the question. It says, how much does Bob spend on fuel each year? Well, here's the price of fuel. It's 98 cents per liter. We are using 2,445.5 liters. So we can really just use our proportional reasoning again, except this time we're using the price per liter. We don't know the price, but we know how many liters it is. So X, our price, is going to be the number of liters multiplied by 98 cents and divide by 1. And when you do that calculation, you get $2,396.59. So now we've actually answered the question. Bob spends $2,396.59 on fuel per year. A new mid-sized vehicle sells for $21,000. The following table shows the average selling price of older cars of the same model. So here we have the age of the vehicle in years and the average selling price in dollars. So when it was brand new, it sold for $21,000. Now that it's 1 year old, it can only sell for $16,000. After it's 2 years old, it can only sell for $12,750, etc. So calculate the depreciation of the vehicle during the first year. in dollars. So depreciation is the amount that it decreases. It's the amount the value goes down. So if it's starting at 21,000 and it's decreasing to 16,000, how much does it go down? Well, that's $5,000. So the depreciation is $5,000 during the first year. So that means if you've only owned the vehicle for a year, it's worth $5,000 less than when you bought it. Now we're going to calculate the depreciation of the vehicle during the first year as a percent of the new vehicle price. So the depreciation was $5,000, and we're going to write that as a percent of the $21,000 new price. Easiest way to do that is to start with a fraction. So $5,000 as a fraction of 21,000. Turn that into a decimal, so 5,000 divided by 21,000. And then turn that decimal into a percent by multiplying by 100. So we can see the vehicle depreciates in value by almost 24% in the first year. Calculate the depreciation after 5 years as a percent of the new vehicle price. Well, first we have to find out what the value in dollars is. So the new price is $21,000. The selling price after 5 years is $8,800. So the difference is $12,200. That's the depreciation. But we want that as a percent of the new vehicle price. So like we did before, we're going to write that as a fraction. So $12,200 as a fraction of 21,000. Do the division to find the decimal, multiply by 100 to get the percent. So after 5 years, the value of the vehicle depreciates by 58%. Now on the upcoming car assignment, you're going to be doing calculations like this, so feel free to refer back to this video or your own notes. If you need help using fuel efficiency, doing proportional reasoning, or doing calculations involving depreciation.